Yeah.
Where are you?
Well, no, I just clicked it. Don't. Eric's dying.
Yeah.
By dying, he's
Dude,
burying,
you know what
burying
Eric looks
treasure.
like? He looks like my dogs when he's trying to find a.
Elder Wand, help
See,
me.
the camera
Yeah.
worked out because he wouldn't be on site.
Yeah,
He wouldn't be
exactly.
in. See,
Nah, dude, he literally looks like when my dogs.
Give me your wand.
Oh, I thought you wanted my.
give me your wand.
There you go.
Don't break his wand.
Careful, it's thick.
Not as thick as this bastard.
But no, it's he looks like when my dogs are chewing their bone and playing, and they knock it under the couch, and they're doing the
they actually try to get it because
the
our
side
pets
scratch.
kick things under the couch and just say,
No,
That's their problem now.
You lost his wand,
Come back.
bro. He lost your wand.
bro.
Use the other wand to get it back.
My ADHD is going to crumble now because someone keeps stealing my fucking Nito.
No, somebody stole my wand. My wand just vanished
It was
after
not
we
you?
finished the last movie.
I think Christian's coming in here and just jacking stuff.
he might be.
He's selling it on eBay. Be like, true. This has
I don't see it down
this
here.
has Sean's DNA on it. This has Ruff's DNA on it.
There, your Nito's down there.
Your wand,
is it-
sir.
what?
My pen. Ha-ha! Okay, now I got.
I need
Nito's
that.
down there, along with your empty bag of protein chips and what looks like a T-shirt.
A T-shirt?
Yes.
Oh, damn!
Woo!
So strong. Oh,
Go America.
hey, we have sort of stupid merch now.
We do. We haven't gotten the. We have placed a pretty large order for the new stuff, which is pretty cool.
You missed everything you just tried to throw.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't really trying.
We're being messy boys
This
today.
wasn't
really
it'll
trying.
never get
Dude, can I just say, since we are starting, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sort of Stupid Podcast. I'm Sean, Ruff, Eric, Bree.
Are
That's
we?
done.
Now that's done.
And can I just say, I think taking time off is a terrible idea.
You think?
Oh, Jackie.
Don't get me
Explain
wrong.
why.
Well, one, I love my job. I love waking up every morning and coming here and,
Yeah.
and chilling and doing shit. Like, I could do this 7 days a week, and I don't feel like I get burned out on the business stuff. I don't get burned out on like the chilling and doing
Same.
this stuff.
I hate coming in and having to do emails all
Yeah,
day, but that's really
the
about it.
problem is we took the week off for Christmas.
Yeah.
And this week has literally just been like, you were like, I don't even know why I make schedules. It's like, because on normal weeks, the schedule's great.
Yep.
It's just this week,
Is the ketchup.
we're
I
catching
don't
up
think
and
it's
we're
just this week. I feel like
No.
we throw out schedules more often than not.
we don't as much as you think we do. I promise you.
Does it maybe just seem like it?
I think so. And I think it's because we've done it like 3 times this week to where like yesterday we were like, well, let's just binge this to finish this up, right? And
I blame YouTube.
no, it is like, well, that's the other thing too. We've switched stuff around because now YouTube is royally screwing us. We'll get into that.
Oh yeah, we will.
And so, but no, like we're coming off like Christmas week. Everybody else is also going back to their offices as well, which means we're getting just blasted with emails like, do you want to meet this week? Do you want to meet this week? And it's like, well, now we got to send an email. What's the meeting about?
The best ones
just
are,
catching up.
Hey, do you want to meet this week? By the way, we don't really have much to talk about, so we can cancel if you want. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I
Please.
wanted.
But I don't want to
But
meet
the
with
problem
you.
is that like now with the job that we have and the people we meet, those meetings cost us money. Like it's not just meeting to like discuss things.
Yeah, like we're working with a team to completely revamp the website
Yeah.
to basically fix all of the little issues with it and make it a better experience for everybody that watches our videos uncut early over on patreon.com/sortastupid. Please support the show.
Please support it.
But we're revamping this, and a team of people revamping a website, not cheap. Every time we have a meeting with their team, that meeting costs us hundreds of dollars
Per person.
Yeah, we're paying per person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it adds up.
Like
you know?
hundreds of dollars for an hour-long meeting just for them to be like, here's what's going on. Does this sound good? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like us just sitting there being like,
Not understanding
Yeah,
half of it
all right.
because it's
lingo. It's literally
website
like
jargon.
I mean, incredibly sweet people. It's just the
Great
job,
team, yeah.
right? Yeah. I mean, and it's one of those things that, dude, coming back off of a break with all that happening and then all of the YouTube junk happening, which, like I said, we're going to get into it. It's like, it's been one of those where it's like, I think all of us came in today and we were just tired. Like all of us are dragging this morning. Like, and what's weird is like last night, I've had one of the best nights of sleep I've had in probably 6 months.
He went to bed at like 10.
Yeah.
I passed out.
I'm
Like
exhausted.
I don't know where it came
And
from.
I don't think he ever woke back up until
And-
this
and-
morning.
No, I didn't. And I don't think that it was like I don't think it was the recording because we recorded a normal amount tomorrow, and I wasn't really tired at the end of the day. It was just like I got home.
It's everything catching up to
I
you.
wanted to do nothing.
No.
I laid down. I read like 2 or 3 chapters of Harry Potter, and then I was like,
Well-
I don't want to read anymore. I'm going to sleep.
Well, I mean, like, here's our week so far. Like, we come
true.
in. I think the first day, like, we kind of just have like a normal recording day for the most part.
No, day one we came in and we recorded both.
Dude, I didn't even realize
Oh,
that
we
it
did
was-
Harry Potter. We
Dude,
finished up Harry Potter.
Literally for the last 5 minutes and 37 seconds, I thought it was on Monday.
No,
That's
it's,
so
it's a
funny.
kind of a vibe. So yeah,
It's
Why-
Wednesday, by the
That's
way.
why I
Monday
know
we
it's
come in-
Thursday.
It's Thursday, by the
Yeah,
way.
That's
Monday
why
we-
as soon as you said like
no.
when we started the week,
I did.
and
I
was
forgot
like,
what Monday was. I forgot
was
we
like,
watched Harry
wait,
Potter.
we weren't here all the
Sean,
week.
Sean was like mildly
so
panicking this
confused.
morning because he was like, "What do we like? What we got to do today? Like, what movies we got to watch?" And we were like, "We don't have to watch any more movies." He was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "We did 3 movies this week." He's like, "When the fuck did we do 3 movies this week?"
Yeah, dude. No.
And I was like, "We did the 2 Harry Potter movies in one day."
I feel like we've just been on autopilot.
We have. But the thing is, like our
Well, because we're also
autopilot.
having a little bit of catch up as well.
Yeah.
Because like we recorded in advance to not screw ourselves, but there's still stuff that we
have
had
to
to
do.
get done
Yeah.
quickly so that it went out on time this week.
But it's also one of those things where, so Monday was Harry Potter. That was like 7 hours of Harry Potter. Like both,
a long day,
both
Harry
Deathly
Potter.
Hollows. And
It
then
was like
Tuesday was New Year's Eve. Yeah, Tuesday was New Year's Eve.
And we
were here
straight
till
up
like
we
1 o'clock
recorded
in the
all
morning.
day.
No, that morning.
Was that Harry Potter Day?
No, Harry Potter Day was Monday. That was the 30th. We came into the 31st, which was New Year's Eve. You had to do like your like retirement stuff and like your healthcare account stuff.
Oh yeah.
Me and Erik were like tabulating
End of your financial.
end of year financial stuff for the accountant. And it was like, and it was
you're
also
responding to accountants, lawyers, all of the annoying shit.
everybody
that you have
else
to do at the
still
end
wanting
of the
to
year.
meet. Like we had Billy stuff that was going on. Like we had a meeting for Billy that day.
Yeah, that lasted like 30
We go
minutes.
home for an hour. And they
hour?
live
That's it.
like 10, 15 minutes away. I live 20, 25 minutes away.
So you guys go home for 10 minutes.
and I was home for about 30. And like I was just chilling there and my parents were like, aren't you supposed to be going back? I was like, oh my God, yes, you're right. And so like I drove back here. We streamed till 1.
We streamed for 4
Which was
hours.
a blast, by
Yeah,
the way.
no,
a lot of fun.
I loved that.
I mean, you
want
want to tell them what we unlocked? Or what they unlocked?
Oh yeah,
During the
tell them
stream?
what they
So-
unlocked.
Yeah,
Sean,
Sean.
what did you agree to?
Bro, okay, I don't want to hear the lip.
No, what do you mean, lip? We've done this long enough. You
Dude,
knew that was too long
To be
ago.
fair,
Also-
he made this goal when we were at like 200.
Yeah, also,
He could have been like,
I'm
hey,
saying all my-
at X amount of YouTube members, he's like, YouTube takes about 30% of the money. Twitch takes like half.
I'm also.
I actually have to check. We
I'm
may
saying all
have gotten their
Ps now?
Partner Plus by
Yeah,
now. If we got Partner Plus, they don't take half.
You know what?
anymore.
It's
it's
worth
like
it
30 or something.
for Sean's agreement.
They
okay?
take
Yeah,
a normal
yeah.
amount.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
so-
on Sean's side.
Also, all P's will now be used with the emphasis of a Malfoy. So you know,
Oh, okay.
I'm hitting the P hard. Potter. No, so we were at like, and granted, like Bree said, I did that goal when we were at like 200, bro.
Yeah, he did.
And so I was like, hey, you guys get us to 1,000 subs on Twitch. I was like, we will binge all the Twilight
Man just
movies
pulls out
in
a
one go.
5-movie binge, just like,
Not at 1,000 subs. We'll do this movie. Not at we'll do 2. We'll do all 5 in one.
But no.
day.
Like, and this is thanks to the Billies. Like, our view of success is like so skewed to where it's like we talked about this earlier. Where in our head we're still super small streamers
Right.
that just happen
Yeah.
to do YouTube sometimes.
Yeah.
Instead of like YouTubers
Who happen
with
to
a
stream
decent
sometimes.
sized channel who happen to stream sometimes.
Bro,
And
you
so-
have people spending money to court you.
Yes, we need to discuss that as well.
Yeah, that'll be another
We'll
discussion,
get
but
into
continue.
it. We'll get into it. But no, so it's you have lost my play. Like, dude, this week has been insane. So no, yeah, I say, hey, 1,000 subs will binge all the Twilight movies, and I didn't know how long those movies were at the time. So that one is on me. And
there were 5.
Dude, also when I say that,
realistically though, it's not going to be that bad. It's going to be. We're going to
we'll chill.
We're going to come in.
It'll be live. It'll be fun.
We're going to do a
We'll have
movie
a
or
good
two.
time.
We're going to have break, eat lunch, hang out, whatever.
figure we'll interact
if
with
anybody
the
needs a
audience
couple
some.
minutes to go
Yeah.
walk around and get off camera, you can.
Yeah.
Like
Anything
it won't
with an
be
audience
horrible.
is more fun. Like it.
But no,
I think it seems intimidating because we haven't done something like that.
I think
in a while.
like too, it's our view of success is still that of like, dude, we were at 700 subs. I think when I
left to go to the Cheesecake
when I repeated it, bro went to go get our dinner. An hour
Because
later,
no one would deliver. It was New Year's Eve, and everyone
Yeah.
shut off their delivery. And we're like, I don't want to. I was like, I don't want to eat shit. I was like, we're getting something nice.
Yeah.
Well, because-
no,
well,
I
because
love
we-
that about you. That's like one of my favorite things where me and Rose
Yeah.
like, let's get chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. And Eric's like, no.
Okay, but then from Cheesecake Factory, all but one of us gets mac and cheese balls. Like
Yeah.
literally.
we got 3 orders of mac and cheese balls.
I got Korean fried cauliflower. That
was
just
good.
sounded better.
But you know what, though?
And we ate the fuck out of it on day
that food
2.
was the gift that kept on giving because the next day that shit
dude.
was so good.
Dude, no, yesterday's lunch was a feast.
It was just
was
mac and
crazy.
cheese balls and buffalo cauliflower.
Yeah, dude, it was so
That
good.
was all we ate.
But no, so like bro leaves at 700 subs. I'm like, yeah, you guys hit 1,000. We'll get and meanwhile, we're also like streaming on YouTube
I will,
and getting
I will,
subs.
in your defense, I will say, we
300 subs is a lot.
That's a lot.
We don't get a lot of subs or thing like we have occasional bursts where people will gift a
Yeah.
chunk, but like we don't get a ton of subs because unlike a lot of like small streamers,
We don't push
medium-sized streamers, we stream for fun.
Yeah.
And like so we don't push it.
Subbing is something you do
Yeah,
if you
like,
want to.
I'll mention like Prime subbing occasionally
'Cause that's free.
when I see people complaining about ads. I'll
Yeah.
bring it up. But that's it. So we don't get a lot. So like I guess it was just there was a lot of people there and Sean reminded people that he made this promise. And I guess what we've learned is if we want goals, you just have to give something.
As always, it's me making a joke, thinking like, bro, there's no way we are hitting 300 more subs tonight.
Yeah.
After having like a big
Well,
hype
that's a lot of
train
subs.
There was
earlier.
like it was
stream.
like a level 16 hype train or something.
Yeah.
Well,
like
especially
that.
on the average, we get what,
Cookie.
maybe 20 subs a stream, maybe.
ish. And those are usually from like our usual gifters.
And that's a good night.
stuff.
Like, that's like a, oh,
it's
we got
last
20
night,
subs.
I
It was a
streamed
good night.
Elatro for an hour and a half. I think I got 24 subs.
Yeah, it's
But,
about like 20,
but,
20-ish.
you know, it was our usual people. Like they gifted 10, another person gifted 10, and like someone else gifted 2 or 3 here and there, right?
Yeah.
And so in my head, I'm like, bro, we ain't hitting that. Just throw out 1,000. Who cares? That's so many subs. And they were like, it's like, oh my God.
No, it's at like 1,200. Now we have to plan the goal for like 1,500 or 2,000.
I told them Buffy or Doctor Who. So
Next time, do a movie, or a short season, a few hours, maybe a half day's worth, Sean, like a 4-hour stream.
Nah, dude, we're gonna. If we hit 2,000 subs, we're rewatching all Harry Potters in one stream.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Yeah,
no,
we're
we're
not.
not. No, we're not.
Extended,
No, we're not.
extended
No, we're
editions,
not.
baby.
Extended
Coming
edition-
at
nah,
you, Billy.
yeah, no.
2,000
I'm actually
2,000 subs,
curious.
extended edition Lord of the Rings, all live.
Now I need to know
That would
how
be
long
like-
that would be.
That'd be about 10 hours.
What extended?
No, that would be more
it
than
would be
that.
more.
Extended.
7
No,
movies that are
no.
at least 2.5 hours.
It's got to be upwards
not
of
the
15
Hobbits,
or more.
just the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I was talking about Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry Potter's? I think only the first 3 are extended. After
I know,
that,
but there's still 2.5
310.
hours.
that's fine. We can do
7
it.
times how?
So, this
what's
was
the
when we
math on
halved
that?
it. 310.
7 times what?
2.5.
40, 440.
14 and a half?
17 and a half. 2.5 times 7, you said?
620.
Yeah, 17 and a half. Oh, I'm right.
740.
It's a lot.
What's wrong, Bree?
Well, why did
seem
you
nervous
look
about
at
it.
me like you
8,
didn't believe
9,
me?
Well, no, I was
When
trying to,
have
like,
I been
make sure.
wrong?
But I'm trying to like understand.
Look, one of them is 3 minutes, 3
15.
hours.
You're not
I'm
interested
at
in that?
12 hours 15 right now.
Oh, no.
13,
There's
14,
4
15.
movies
That's
left.
15 hours. 18 hours.
Just say 21.
22, 50. And
It'd be a 24-hour stream.
it would
No,
be.
bro,
it
it'd
would
be over.
It'd be a
over
stream-a-thon. We can
24
make it a
hours.
stream-a-thon.
You know, I'm not gonna
You know,
lie.
2,000
I didn't
stream-a-thon.
realize they were all that long combined. Also, I'm so curious. Like,
Why is that one just named Harry Potter 4?
I don't know.
That's you. You're the only one who has the keyboard there.
Why would I have switched?
Bro, you must have been in a fucking mood after that one.
Isn't that the...
Here's your Harry Potter 4, you assholes.
That's the goblet, dude? Were you just angry at the
I don't know. I honestly don't know, dude.
Didn't want to say it?
He was recovering from Jedward.
I guess. But no, like the Lord of the Rings, I'd be down. That's not too bad.
No, extended editions. I mean, what?
Honestly, that's probably the best way to do it.
The only bad one would be the last one. It's
straight
like
up,
5.5 hours.
Instead of us trying to do them spread out over the course of weeks, when we've already seen, like,
just
honestly,
one massive stream.
having a live stream where people can point stuff out, because we've already seen the normal movies. That's actually not a bad idea.
I think the only bad part
We ought to plan that actually.
would be spoilers.
But
I've already seen it. You've already seen it.
Oh,
It's
I
just
just
the
meant about
extended
anything
And trust,
else
they
that
already
we do.
spoiled all the extended scenes as well, where it's like,
I would also say
you
when
missed
we're-
the context of blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
thanks.
okay.
I would say when we're watching stuff, we also probably won't be as focused as chat as when we're just bullshitting.
No, it's like I'm doing Apothecary Diaries on stream.
Yeah, I
and
know
it's
about
like,
you. I fucking nailed the whole announcing all the.
We would have literally missed half of those subs if you were not there reading them off.
No, bro, we were.
Do you know how
gabbing.
many? I almost lost my voice from yelling everything out and blowing that fucking kazoo.
You weren't even...
What? What was I not doing?
Yeah, tell the woman what she did wrong, Eric.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Did I not blow my kazoo hard enough?
Let me pull one out real quick.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was broken. Ask him. Once he gave me a new one, it was fine.
Y'all's blow
Ask
game.
him. Why are you not saying anything?
Y'all's-
Speak up.
Because I was able to
y'all's blow
kazoo, no
game is
problem.
weak.
No, you took my kazoo and you said, "Oh yeah, this one's fucked
Blow
up,"
game weak.
and then you like
No,
broke it.
no. I said it was fucked up, but that was hours after you had messed it up. When I first tried it
No.
earlier in the stream, I blew it no problem.
No, it was fucked up.
Yeah, hours after of you messing with it.
You're supposed to stand up for me. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, Oregon lost yesterday. Why don't you care more?
Yeah, why don't you care more?
Do you want to talk about that real quick?
I don't really care.
Sport is stupid.
No.
Like, I
No
don't know
sport is
why
stupid this
everyone
week.
expected me to be upset.
No, can I just say one of my favorite?
I was afraid to come home.
Yesterday was like super stressful.
I was stressed.
But no, like we were watching. I think we were watching Ruby, and like I just got on my phone to check the score, and I saw it was 31-0 with like 4 minutes left in the first half, and I just showed Ruff, and he goes, "Oh no."
No, because I got the text that they were not doing well and that the kids were being like pretty bad.
Dude,
that
I'll talk
day.
about that too.
And,
like,
and
holy
so
fucking.
like I'm ready to leave, and I'm like I'm stressing. I'm like, oh no.
No.
Now, to be prefaced, like it's not like Bree doesn't like fucking scream
Yeah.
at me or beat me or anything.
Yeah, I beat
it's
him
just
when the
like,
Ducks
but
lose.
like when Bree is in like I fucking hate the world mode, it's like
No,
it's like tiptoe.
Yo, I was surprised you're playing freaking Cloak and Dagger. I was like, what the fuck? Bree's playing a healer right now?
So I'm already stressing. I pull in.
She's being
and-
the person that she needed.
No. I pull in, and the blow up duck that I put together and staked into the yard before leaving for work broke 3 of them in the process because our mallet's missing. I come home and it's just deflated.
She
She just went outside and unplugged it.
she said honestly, same.
I actually restaked what you had already staked because it wasn't keeping it up. No, I took that shit down before halftime.
It's like I'm too embarrassed.
Yeah,
by
I
this.
just pulled
No,
in
our
and I saw
neighbor has
down,
a
and then it was
longhorn.
like, oh no.
I knew what kind of night it was going to be for Ruff when like usually like when we're leaving we chit chat for like another 10 or 15 as we're kind of like walking towards the door to leave. Bro, last night we turned off the lights. Ruff just walks out the door. He doesn't even say bye.
No.
He just leaves.
I said bye to Eric because he was
He
there.
knows
Yeah.
when his
No,
woman.
Sean was in the
It's like
other
a
room.
bat
Christian
signal,
was out. I
but
just
for
left.
him.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
I'm not mistaken, I think I was like sitting at the stoplight too, and you were at the stoplight. The light was red. You could easily turn right, but you were just waiting for it to turn green. And I was just kind of like, yeah, man,
he's like just a little
Right.
bit longer.
Right.
Just a little longer.
Right? I'm trying to remember which light you're talking about.
when I go left and you go right.
No, that wasn't me.
No, I will say it fucks me up because there is another car that is exactly like yours, and there's another car that is exactly like his.
Maybe that's what.
And sometimes they're behind me or
because I
whatever.
saw it, and I was like, homie's just he's got his he's going to go right.
No, I'm too impatient. I don't sit at red lights if I can turn right. I don't have the patience
No,
for it.
but I there's like a couple things. I wasn't that upset about it, and a lot of people expected me to be, but there's a lot of things that go into it that I mean, they had like almost a month off. And when you don't play football for a month,
No, you get out of practice.
you're just rusty. And that's why pregame, like the preseason games are always kind of like they're just practice because like that's what you need before you actually get into like the big games. Ohio State played like last week.
Yeah.
That seems kind of unfair.
I mean, well, no, if you want to get
the upside is the idea of the upside is that her team got the rest because they were the top team.
I guess, but I feel like with something like that never works.
Well, also, I mean, it also just pointed out like,
Also
and
the
everyone
injuries
said
or
this
something.
from the beginning, the seeding of the playoffs was so just ridiculous.
That's kind
this
of
year.
coming under fire.
There's
right
no
now.
reason that Oregon should have been going against a top 10 team or a top 3-4 team
as their first round.
as their first round pick.
They literally should have gotten the worst team in.
Not
the
to mention, if they beat
That's
Ohio
how it's supposed
State,
to work.
they would have had to beat Texas right after, and then most likely Georgia. Like literally, they would have
Yeah.
had to play the top, like the highest ranked.
Ohio
teams
State's going to win it now.
Besides Oregon, yeah.
they're the
Basically,
best
whoever
team.
won the Rose Bowl
Fuck
is
else you
going to
doing
win the
in
national
Ohio? I mean,
championship.
of course they are.
No, a lot of NFL players
In
do come from
Ohio,
Ohio.
the
Not
way
surprised.
that they treat football there, it's like apparently on football days, the entire town is dead.
Yeah, because that's all they
Because
have.
everybody is watching the football game, things close down. Like they take football so seriously
So-
there that like they will. Ryan Day has like so much. Like he's scared. He said that he's worried about ordering delivery because he's worried someone will spit in his food because of how bad that they lost against Michigan. Which I will say,
No,
at the end
yeah.
of the day, we beat Michigan and they got destroyed by Michigan. So I don't really care.
No, so it's one of those things too, and it's like famously known in sports to where it's like if you have teams that are pretty evenly matched, both are very good. It's tough to beat the same team twice in a row.
Exactly. And especially when they
Yeah.
were off for so long and they played like shit. And like I
Yeah.
knew that from the get. And I mean, I accept it. But at the end of the day, they had a perfect season. They won the Big Ten Conference when they would
Their first time in there.
Yeah, their first year in the Big Ten Conference, and everyone said that they weren't deserving of being in it, and they won it. They went 13-0. They had a perfect season. Then they are the number 1 recruiting class for next year. Next year will be even better. So I'm not that.
Bree said in 5 years, Ohio, I'm coming at from
No,
that.
they don't
Well, it's
even.
like,
Well, the
I mean,
thing is, they
going
don't even play
13-0
them
and
next
then
year.
losing one.
That's
It's
what I'm
like,
saying.
oh
Probably
no,
5 years.
Yeah.
That'll give them enough time to
13-1.
get more people on the team and stuff.
Well, it's also
Well, then, and it's kind of like I already like that's all I was using Twitter for this year was for the college football stuff. I already like
Deleted
stopped
Twitter.
looking after
Smart.
halftime because
Yeah.
I was like, everyone's just berating the Ducks and berating Dan
Yeah.
Lanning, but it's like, what are you gonna get mad at him about? That they didn't win the playoff game? Like
Yeah.
it's
It's like, how dare you go 13-1?
Yeah. Well, it's that, and it's
well, it's
like
not. It doesn't even count. That doesn't
No,
count
it's
towards
after the
their.
season.
Oh,
though.
well, all right. Never
No,
mind
they
that.
had a perfect season. So like, what
Yeah.
else are you gonna do against a? By the way, and he's only been a coach for 3 years for them, and he lost I think 3 games 3 years ago, then 2 games last year, and then this game was a perfect season.
yeah.
So like, what I don't know. I just feel like they did, especially a little like from Eugene, Oregon. Like it's just a little nobody team that, like a couple years ago that nobody really talked about. So
That it has billions of dollars in funding from Nike, though.
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, and that's what everyone also says is like, oh, well, they're only good because Phil Knight.
No, that's the thing.
Supports
Like,
them and Nike.
Oregon will probably become a powerhouse now because of
Of the
NIL.
NIL, 100%.
You know, why would you not go to where Nike could literally throw dimes at you, bro? Like,
Yeah.
why
And-
not?
I'm a little bummed that my dad and I won't be going to the national championship because that would have been like a really meaningful trip for us. But I'm kind of glad we're not going just with all the
Yeah, dude.
bad
apparently,
stuff going on right now.
y'all want to tell me about that, because apparently I am the one that's like, I knew there was like a dude that ran through like a parade or something in New Orleans, but apparently people are just like nuking Cybertrucks
I don't
or
know.
something.
I don't know like many things outside of the fact that the Cybertruck was blown up.
Yeah.
But that's really about it.
I know a lot about the New Orleans attack just because it was so.
It was everywhere.
They were
for
talking a
while.
lot about it at game
Done a
day.
good job of staying off
Same, bro.
TikTok.
No, same.
I didn't know anything
I'm not
about
on
it.
TikTok or Twitter hardly, so
I
know
have the
nothing.
Citizen
Instagram's
app
next.
on my
I'm gonna
phone
end up on installing Instagram, bro.
because
Do it.
Citizen lets me know like if there's a house fire in the area or accidents in the area and stuff. And since Austin no longer has their police and fire radios on to the public. I can't listen to them anymore, so I have the Citizen app to keep track of all
Damn,
of
they
it.
went private with it.
Yeah, they did. And
Gee, I wonder why.
I saw it on there, but then they were talking about it on game day because the Sugar Bowl, Georgia playing.
It was that night, right?
Yeah, that was supposed to be playing that night, and they ended up moving it to tonight because they had to literally like look in every nook and cranny in that stadium to make sure it was safe because it was so close to the stadium. And so they were talking about a lot of it on game day, but yeah, like 15 people died. I think like 30 got injured. Someone just ran a truck right through a crowd of people. And I don't know exactly what was going on, but I don't know if it had any relation to the game just because it was so close to it. But I mean, it was, everyone was there, you know. A lot of people travel to these games.
Oh, yeah.
These
A crazy
stadiums
amount.
From
are
around the
big,
country.
And I mean, I don't know how many hotels are in that area. Like there is it was a
It's New
very
Orleans, dude.
populated
It's-
area.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest travel destinations in the United States.
Yeah, and then in Vegas there was a Cybertruck that
Especially
got
this time
blown
of
up.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was I don't know what words we're allowed to say on YouTube and what we're not.
I know. I'm like,
I wouldn't. Yeah,
There was a
don't use the
a
big T.
there was a pew pew in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
I think this last night at a nightclub where 10 people died. You know, the world, and it's only
You know what's crazy is
the
to me that
second day
didn't
of
even
the
make
year.
a headline or anything, and that's how like sad that is now.
And then that's
It's
it.
because
there's
it's-
going to be another one
Yeah,
in 2
there's
days.
gonna be one in
It's
2 or
too
3 days.
common and it's scary, and it's only day 2 of the new year, you know? So I don't know. I have like a weird gut feeling that like the burnt toast theory. Like you burn your toast and it makes you late to work, but you missed a big car accident that you would have been in. I feel that way about.
That's why you hold the door open for people, because it slows you down and puts
Yeah.
you on the right path.
I feel like that a lot with a lot of things. Like if I'm ever running late to something or like something
supposed to be
just
running late.
unfortunate
Yeah.
happens, I always just think that this is all part of my plan. Like if
Like
I'm not
everything
if
happens
I'm
for a
not
reason
then
type
I'm just
shit.
not meant to be there on time. And if that saves me from someone running a red light, or like if the person in front of me like the other day.
So would that be like a predetermined fate kind of thing?
I don't know.
Do you believe in like, I don't want to get philosophical, but like, would that be
Growing
predetermined
up, I
fate?
always thought that there was like not like a literal book, but like I always just thought like my whole life is planned out from beginning to end somehow. And like everything that happens to me, it was supposed to happen to me that way.
See, what's interesting is I kind of look at that the same way, because like, you know, being a caregiver, like that's all I had
Yeah.
to do was kind of think about that stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, you know, if I hadn't have been a caregiver, I wouldn't be in this chair right now.
It gives you
right?
some peace in situations like that.
Well, I mean, that's what
And-
religion is for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And,
my
like, I'm not
fate
much
is
of a-
predetermined by a God who loves me. Therefore, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And like I've never like growing up I was Christian because my family was, but I stopped really dabbling in any religion growing up, probably like when I entered high school. But I'm still very what's the word? Like spiritual in that way.
I wish I was.
I just like life is very precious to me, and I just like always think about things in a happy light regarding it. But no, I just think that things aren't always going to be good, and things are like shitty things are going to happen. Like my Ducks not going to the national championship, but at the end of the day,
Woe is me, Ebenezer.
Woe is me.
but at the end of the day, like
Huey, Dewey, Louie.
it just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be, and I'm only 26. You know,
Well,
So
it wasn't
Meanwhile,
meant to be
there's, like,
this
some-
year,
yeah.
but they have set the
Exactly.
they have paved
Exactly.
the road for 5 years. from
And
now,
that's
like
what I
said.
keep thinking
mean,
is like I have hopefully so many more years left of my life to watch them do that. Like, and maybe one day when the kids are old enough to go with me, I can take them with me. Evie is such a Ducks fan. This girl loves the Ducks. All she talks about is the Go Ducks. She calls them the Go Ducks.
The Go Ducks.
At her mom's house, she has them put on the Go Ducks on YouTube for her
Which
so
is
she
funny
can
because
watch.
her mom likes the Cowboys.
oh,
Evie was
told us that her mom
Evie
hates
told me
the
on the
Go
way
Ducks.
here.
Disgusting.
She's like, my mom watches the Go Ducks, or my mom watches the Cowboys, but I
that's-
like the Go Ducks. But she won't let me
Nah,
watch
bro.
the Go Ducks.
Yeah,
but Josh
she-
lets me watch the Go Ducks. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
She doesn't let her watch the Go Ducks on the main TV. Her mom doesn't like the Go
But
Ducks.
her stepdad does.
Yeah, so
Cool.
they let her watch it on
like, all right.
a separate TV in a separate room. So she loves the Ducks. She has like a bunch of duck outfits. Like I
I'm
cannot.
sure mom must love that.
Well, they're at our house.
Yeah, they're at our house. But she talks about all the time how she just wants to go to Oregon so that she can go to a football game there. And
I think that would be fun for
she
y'all to
also
do.
said that
Yeah.
she wants to be a cheerleader and a football player for the Ducks. So she wants to score and then cheer for her own
know what?
touchdown.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Go her.
And you know what? That's
Achieve
a great
it all.
goal to have.
You know what? Achieve it all. Hell
But
yeah.
I hope Maeve is the same way, and she might not be, and that's fine. But like, I grew up in a house that loved football, and just like when the whole family is involved, or like family and friends, it's like such a different experience. And so that's like, it's been so nice to have my dad around because we get to watch the games together now.
No, I'm like envious of that stuff to a degree. Like I saw something on.
The only time I ever cared about football was
you're always able to join.
was when I was
No,
in the
I know,
fantasy
but like
league. That's the only time I ever
didn't
cared
grow
about
up
football.
around it, right? Like
That's
That's a game. You're gamifying.
I'm gamifying.
I want to do a fantasy league.
That's literally the only reason
down.
why I ever cared about football.
Can we do a
was
sort of
because
stupid fantasy league?
Sure.
Isn't it too late for that?
I mean, now,
Not
yes.
now.
Next season. What were you
Next
saying?
season.
Huh?
What were you saying?
No, I like saw this thing on TikTok and people were talking about that. It was like, I don't know, it was a big eye opener even with like our kids of there being like living room families and like
Oh yeah.
bedroom families. And it was like I never realized it until like I grew up. Like when I grew up, I was either outside or I was in my room avoiding my mom.
Oh, okay.
But like you have living room families of like kids who actively will hang out in the living room with their parents because they enjoy their presence and like being around them. But like I never did that because I didn't want to be around my mom. I wanted to be like, stay away from me. If I'm not near you, I can't anger you. You know?
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I'm incredibly lucky in that regard. I've talked about how good my parents are a lot. Like,
Now, your
Dude, your
parents
mom's
are-
a gem. We need to take her to a casino, bro. Dude, she wins without even knowing it.
no,
It's awesome.
My mom is like an idiot savant at poker.
and my
where
man
it's
was
like,
getting so heated during it.
like I was a
She just
professional
kept
poker
winning.
dude. I was a professional poker player, and my mom is just beating my ass.
Oh my
and
God, he was telling us this at
But
our
she's not
house.
beating you by knowing it.
I'm having to tell her what she has. So like Eric would have like, I got 5-3 because
awesome.
we play a game with wild cards. Eric would be like, I have 5 3s, and my mom would be like, well, I got something, and it's like, you got 5 6s, you win. And she'd just be like scraping chips in. It's like,
didn't even know she won.
God fucking
The best
damn
part
it.
is she was just having fun playing with us and
Yeah,
having a
no,
good time.
my mom just
and
wants
then
to be a
she would
part of
lay
it,
the cards
but-
down, and Sean would be like, "Yeah, you win."
Yeah.
Like every time,
You know what?
even if he was
she was playing with my fucking money anyway, so it was my investment. But no, so like
funny.
no, like it's funny you talk about like living room families because it's like you know, my dad was my coach for a lot of the time I played baseball like in little league and stuff until I like got more serious and played middle school, high school, and stuff like that because you know those are just coaches from the schools. But no, I mean like that's the style you talking about. Like you were either outside or in your room, and that's like your memories, right? Like you being in your room doing something where it's like I can still see me getting into my dad's Nissan Datsun rat of a truck where like the vinyl seats are torn up and stuff like that, and he have Johnny Horton on the radio, and I can still smell the oil from like him getting off his job as like a maintenance man and stuff like that. Like I like those things like that are so seared into my brain that like it like you know I have those memories and stuff like that, and it's like it's weird that you kind of phrased it like that. That's really good, but that's
No, it was the first time I've seen it because it came up because I saw like, you know, I'm fucking millennial, so I get like, you know, random millennial TikToks and like random kid things occasionally.
Also, the
also
alien. You gotta give us
psychologically
the alien
breaking you
update at
down
some
in
point.
30 seconds kind of shit.
Right?
Yeah.
So what?
I want my alien update at some point.
I haven't. I haven't been on TikTok. I don't know what's going on.
Turns out they realized they were in New Jersey and they all left.
No, I know that
Continue.
last time I checked, they had moved and there was in various places around the country they've been seeing.
They still realized they were in Jersey and wanted to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Once
but,
they hit Ohio, they'll definitely
Sorry,
leave.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to remember what I was saying.
No, you're talking about the living room families and
But no,
yeah.
it's like it's a bunch of millennial parents that are like growing up now and they have kids and they're like, holy shit, this is what a family's supposed to be.
yeah. Oh, that's what that feels like.
Like, oh, this is what happens when
Yeah.
your kids like you and aren't afraid of you. And it's like, oh yeah. And it's like crazy to think about because I prior to seeing that, I was wondering, it like threw me off because like when, you know, it's weekend and it's like, I love hanging out with the kids, but they'll just be out in the living room and they just want our attention the whole day.
It's like, leave me alone.
And it's just like,
why do you love
but it's
me
like,
so
it's
much?
like even like Evie, right? Like we have switches, we have games. She can play her Switch. She can tap.
But she wants to hang out with you.
and they just want to hang out with us. And it's like so weird to me that I'm like, I didn't understand like why aren't
Is
they?
something wrong with my children?
No, literally. And it was like, why are they not just like going and playing in their rooms?
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I watched it that I was like,
Oh, I'm not a piece
I
of
guess
shit.
that makes sense because it's like, you
Yeah.
know, I went into my room to avoid my parents, where it's like, you know,
No, I
they
mean,
are
See,
the
that's
opposite.
wild because it's like I've had both. Like
Yeah.
I had a living room family for a while. Then
Yeah.
my parents got like my dad got sick. My mom divorced him, and like everything kind of fell apart.
It
And then
changed
after
and
that,
went
I
that
became a bedroom,
bedroom.
Yeah.
a bedroom kid. Well,
Yeah.
funny enough, I was a bedroom kid for my mom, but I was a living room with my dad.
Yeah.
because I wanted to spend time with him. I wanted to get
sense,
to know
yeah.
him. And I kind of feel bad, like not kind of doing that with my mom, but like that.
I mean, it's
that-
not your
that
fault
bridge,
as the kid,
unfortunately, was
right? Like,
kinda-
it's like, you know, the
Choices were made,
the parents'
unfortunately.
job is to make the kid comfortable.
Yeah.
And be
I
a
mean-
good
And I would say
parent,
that's more.
you know?
I mean, look at
fault,
our
not their
house.
fault.
Our house is hardly our own. We have
Yeah.
like our rooms,
Yeah.
but I mean, you walk in, the first thing you see is a princess castle, a ball pit, and foam blocks.
Hell yeah, Princess Castle
But
the
no, it's
shit.
like-
And a
It's-
trampoline, baby.
But no, it didn't. It didn't realize until like I realized how much I am in around the bedroom of like. I bring my dinner into the bedroom, and like I just do. Like I've always.
Well, in
done
your
it.
head-
it's either that or
in your
I
head,
stand up in the counter and I eat it on the counter, and then I throw it out
Yeah,
and I go to
that's
bed.
still your
But we
safe
have a
space.
kitchen table,
Yeah.
and I never fucking use it. I
Yeah.
try to force myself to sometimes.
You only use her for holidays.
No, I usually will force myself to sometimes. It's usually like if I got something, I ordered dinner, I have dinner, and it's a bit messy, and I'm like worried I don't want to make a mess in the bed, then I'll move out. Like if I can't contain it, you know, I'll like, or I'm worried that I can't contain it, I'll go
Yeah.
there. But like I've been trying to like sit at the table more just to be like, okay, like it's okay to sit out.
No,
here.
I mean, in that regard too, I think that's why my parents were so good, because my parents to me are what you are to them now.
What do you mean?
Because my dad grew up so poor, the principal would feel bad for him and buy him clothes.
Yeah.
Like my mom's dad, my grandfather, cheated on my grandma so much that they never saw him.
Yeah.
Kind of shit, right? And so it's like, we don't want to be.
They saw that. So they did it.
Yeah, it's like that generational shift, right? Like we don't want to be what they were to our kids, so we're going to actually be parents to our kids.
Yeah. I mean,
kind
that's
of
pretty
thing.
much what it was for me. What I never understood is the like for me growing up, like my dad and mom were very different. Like my dad and mom split when I was like 9 months old. So I don't have a single memory of them together. But like, you know, everybody has the thing of like, oh, the dad is the abusive one. My dad was never that. My dad was a drunk and a drug addict and like would not really pay much attention, but he never hit me, never beat me.
Right.
But like my mom, polar opposite. Like any chance she could get. Like
Right.
I think I've told the story before that like, and it's funny because she was on the phone and then her friend confirmed that like I didn't say it. She thought I told her to go fuck herself. Never happened. Her friend was on speaker, even confirmed. He never said that. All I remember is like I don't even remember what the discussion was about, but she like launched the phone across the room. She's speakerphone with her friend, threw the phone at me, jumped over the table, threw me on the ground, and swung. I moved my head at the last second. She hit the ground, shattered her hand. Her hand was completely broken. She punched the ground so hard that her hand broke. God, it was so satisfying.
I feel like that needs to be
It
some
was
court
so
ordered therapy,
satisfying.
dude.
Dude, holy shit.
It was
see, like,
so satisfying.
I never got like beatings like that, but like if I did something wrong and my dad knew I did something wrong,
No, that was
he'd pull the belt off and,
Oh, yeah.
and do the little put the space
That
and
snap.
snap. Like you know what's coming, boy.
Yeah, no.
Like because there was one
Just
time
never had to get to that point.
well, there was one time I remember like being a kid and I was like grounded. Like I got grounded for something. I don't remember what I was doing stupid shit. I was a bad kid when I was growing up. And like he grounded me from riding like my little ATV wheel, like 4-wheeler in my backyard.
Yeah.
Because I had a 4-acre backyard. So I just go out and ride it just to
Yeah.
keep
Oh, yeah,
myself
dude.
busy. So he like grounded me from it. And I like me being me, I had like a half day of school. So of course he took the key, I hotwired it. And I got it running again. So I was like, cool, let me go take it for a run.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't hotwire. You can, those old ATVs, you could build momentum, click it into first gear, and jumpstart the engine.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh,
so that's
okay.
what I did was I ran it down our driveway, jump started the engine, and started driving it around.
Yeah.
He came home.
And that was probably something he showed you how
Oh,
to do.
100%. Yeah. He showed me how to do it.
You created this old man.
So
It's like it's all your
he
fault.
came home, and I'm looking out the window at him, and all my man does is puts his hand next to the engine like this.
Oh, no.
And looks right up at the
And
window.
you're like, oh,
And I'm like, oh,
no.
fuck, he knows! He knows!
That, you know,
That's
and
so
it's,
funny,
probably,
dude.
it's probably that dad shit, too. That's 3 inches to the right from where it
Oh,
was
100%,
this
dude.
morning.
Yeah, he knew. He's
It's
like, that's not where I left that.
that.
That's so
It
funny.
is
dude.
crazy now, like thinking about like when I look back at things that I did sneakily as a kid, like me now, I'm like, no shit, they would have caught you. You fucking dumbass.
Yeah, you idiot.
fucking
Like-
dummy.
But you only know that now because you
I
know the
know.
ways to catch them, right?
I know,
And it's
exactly.
like-
That's why it's like in my head, I'm like, I was you. Like, especially when the girls become teenagers, I'm like, don't forget, I was you.
Yeah.
I
know when you're gonna sneak
these
out.
things.
I don't
Motherfucker.
know if there's anything that'll get past. Like, I don't know.
No, because I mean, the thing with our parents is like the things that we had, they did not have. And like now
we
it's
did,
like,
we did not have a doorbell camera.
no, exactly. Or,
a doorbell
or
camera.
cameras all over our house.
Doorbell cameras, air tags, the works.
So
Yeah.
speaking of that, I was scrolling TikTok. I don't know how 100% sure this is, but did you guys hear about the new laws that are being passed this year?
No.
Limiting screen time of minors. And
I
they,
heard
and they
about
have
that
to
in
verify
certain-
who
in
they
certain
are before
places.
they can even access the internet now. Like, dude, it's insane. The regulations they're putting.
The
up. Which,
reason-
yes, it
I
is
agree
good.
with them. Though.
my concern about, or not concern, I guess, is you just bypass it with a VPN.
Well,
Yeah, but-
as a kid,
And there's
they're not
free
going to know much
VPNs.
about VPNs, right?
you-
depending
Are they
on
not?
their age.
Yeah, of course they
Depending
will.
on their age.
Depending on their
I will
age.
say though, what I have heard from like teachers and shit, apparently Gen Alpha kids are like computer dumb.
I believe it.
No,
Like they don't know how to use computers.
I've oddly seen this weird uptick.
I believe it because who's going to teach them?
yeah.
well, there's-
Because they use touchpads, right?
No,
So,
because
like,
all of us don't. I don't want my
I
kids
don't.
on the
I'm
fucking
not going
computer.
to teach them how to do this.
I do
shit
not
we know
allow.
how to
Evie
do.
does not touch the computer. I don't give a fuck.
No.
Like
Smart.
No, see,
I
I
mean,
like
even
that.
smartphones. Like, I am totally
No,
on the
I've
people.
heard,
you don't get a smartphone until you're like a freshman.
No,
like
so what I
get her a
heard
brick
from
phone. Get her a Nextel.
no, so
I
what-
think
what
a
I've
phone
heard-
that they have phones that are like specific, or they even have like watches for kids that like give you their location, and then they can only have like 3 phone numbers that they.
Oh
can
no!
No,
if I ever
I've-
have a kid, I was not joking about the AirTag. Like
Yeah.
they are gonna
Yeah,
have
no,
that shit in their
100%.
pocket.
No, I've heard of like right now a new thing that's happening because a lot of apparently like a lot of like the rich parents or whatever because they don't want their kids on the internet. They're not giving them phones. They're just giving them Apple Watches.
Yeah.
They're like, you can call on this,
Yeah.
and you can text us with your voice if you need to, but they're like, no internet.
I mean,
no internet access. Period.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not a parent, so it's like I can't judge from that aspect. But I was once someone's child, still am. And like my parents wanted me to have all the. We didn't have a lot of money growing up or anything like that. And they went into debt to make sure like we had like technology to learn on.
Yeah,
and like
which is different.
And I thank them for that because that created like a love of computers.
compact baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Windows 3.1, and like you had to like go through DOS and do stuff. So
To
like
get the internet, you had to get the disc in the
Yeah,
mail.
that created like how stuff worked.
Yeah.
like I was the only kid when I went to NC State. Like a lot of times there was like 4 like in the entire fucking library of a 30,000 student university. They had like 4 Windows computers.
Yeah.
in the library. But they had like 20 Linux computers. I
Interesting.
taught myself Linux while I
Yeah.
was there.
No, dude, kids
And-
can like it's crazy.
And so it's like one of those things to where it's like I totally see like because I mean you guys are mostly talking about like probably stuff like the Cocoa Melon stuff. And
No,
I'm
no.
talking
So
about,
like,
like,
my
brain-
concern's
brain
not even
rot
the
stuff.
my concern's not even the computer.
The computer
I don't
can
care
be
about,
easily
like the
monitored.
internet and computers not my concern. It's social media. I don't want them
Sure,
on
sure.
social media at all.
It's
And that's
the
what-
phone and how easily it is to
Yeah.
how easy, or at least how easy it was for me to learn it and to browse the web. And that was when
Also,
things
like,
weren't as
become
bad as they
addicted
were
to
now
it.
with the internet.
Well, I mean, there's that. Like when I was growing up too, like I had a computer 2 or 3 years before the internet was like a thing. So like I had Mavis Beacon, which was like the typing game to teach you how to type.
Word muncher?
It was like Britannica software that was like kind of like you're
my first
walking through a
computer game was
museum.
Typing Tutor. I get it.
Yeah, Math Blaster and stuff like that.
And
so
those
it's
are
like,
great.
And it's like
Incredible
it made,
Machine.
Yeah, and it made like computer stuff fun. So like, no, I totally agree. Like, bro, if I have kids, like, you're not literally getting social media until
No.
you were
No,
in high
there's this.
school.
No, there's like a weird blind because now with Evie being 6, it's like I have had this like,
And she's gonna get only more curious as time
she's gonna
goes,
be 6,
right?
but it's like it's that thing of like I don't even know when the right time is anymore. Like I feel like a few years ago I did, but the
Well, you
internet.
don't want her to be ostracized either for
and-
being the
and-
one
and-
kid that doesn't.
Exactly. And the thing is like, people are going to say, "Oh, the internet's always been like this." No,
No,
it
it
fucking
hasn't.
hasn't.
No, it hasn't.
No, it
So-
fucking hasn't. I have been a full-time content creator for 7 to 8 years now. I have been on the internet since, again, a bit
It's
later. Like I
inception,
didn't get my
yeah.
first computer until I was towards the end of high school, but like I have been on the internet and have grown up with it. It is infinitely worse now than it was back then.
Growing up, I was one of those girls who was like groomed on Kick. Like I was one of those girls that
it's 100 times worse than it was then.
And I was one of those girls that when you're with your friends, you go on chat roulette, or you go on Omegle, or you go on whatever
that was
because
after us.
Yeah, thank God.
Because that was what you did. Like that was what you did at sleepovers.
Interact
because
with
it was
strangers on
funny
camera.
Because
Dude,
it was
you gotta
strangers.
go to ASL, baby.
Yeah,
exactly.
Knowing it's a grown ass man lying on the other side.
But that's because our parents had no idea what that even was.
Well, I gotta go.
Our parents had no idea how to
I'll hold
protect
it down
us
for you.
against that, and so we were curious and we didn't know what it meant.
Interesting that you bring that up.
And
Because
so now that I know, I'm like, I don't want.
I got you.
Well, I was in the middle.
No,
of
you're
a
fine. You're fine.
sentence.
I'm just.
I didn't.
No,
I've been trying to talk for like the past 5
yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
I've literally been
I will
interrupted
say,
like
I
every single
watched our
time.
last podcast. We interrupted each other so much that we're starting to get comments about it. Finish your story and then hold on to your story.
No, I'm good. I forgot.
No.
I forgot.
No, you were talking about doing Omegle and you were talking
No, that
about
was
like
it.
it was the
Omegle?
experience. Bree, finish your story.
I don't remember. So
You
it's
you
fine.
do remember.
No, I
I can see it
don't.
on your face.
I literally don't remember. It's fine.
Sir, your story then. Oh my God.
Working in hospitality as long as I did, that was one of the common questions I actually asked a lot of parents was, in this day and age that you're bringing up children, how do you protect them from the internet? What do you do as a parent? And funny enough, the conversations that most of the parents brought to the table and the answer was, it's not so much as trying to hide them from the internet, but
can't.
it's educating them properly so they listen to you when you tell them something not to do on the internet,
Well, I mean-
right?
Yeah, but how many of them are going to listen?
Yes, but the thing is, it's about having that open
I
dialogue
think it's
with
just
your
hammering
kid.
it in, right?
Well, it's also having that open dialogue with the kid to be like, hey, if you see something weird on Facebook, come ask me. Come
Yeah.
talk to me
Yeah,
about
true,
it.
Which
We
yeah.
can actually have a conversation.
open
don't,
about it.
Don't ask random
if
schmo
you
on
feel
Reddit.
if you feel uncomfortable, that is okay. Come say something to me,
and that's
right?
what they said.
Yeah.
Is a lot of it is being able to have open communication with your child to be able to when they are going on the internet, when they are curious, because it's going to happen no matter what. And that's what they said. Like
Yeah.
it happens no matter
Well, I
what.
mean, they
Even
get
if
on
I
the
stop
internet
it,
at school and
right?
stuff.
Like they're going to get the internet. But the matter is, if I can have an open dialogue with my child and they're concerned about something and they bring it to me, I can address it in a proper way than having a parent or a teacher or whatever who doesn't know the correct information is just telling the kid something so they go away.
Yeah.
And then they're not being misinformed about things, right?
Right.
But a lot of it is just from what the parents told me is open communication.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I will say too. So, like, since they have to worry about young
that worried
kids
me a
still,
lot, like,
I
having
mean,
a
like,
kid.
I mean, I'm sure you guys have to take into account too. Like, their eyes are still forming and they're
Exactly.
growing, right? And it's
Yeah.
like staring at a screen for 12
I mean, they
hours
don't
a day.
even
We
use
know
a
how we
tablet.
feel after we do it, right?
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine for a growing child like staring at a screen for like
No.
God knows how
That's
many
how
hours
I don't
a day.
understand how
is
people
bad
give
for
their
them.
kids tablets like for 10 hours a day.
It's because it keeps them busy and they
I
can't
know,
raise
but
them.
still, like, holy shit.
No, I mean, and I think to that regard, I think it's like you have to just hammer the idea of like the stuff you want to teach them in.
Well, you have to be a good parent.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
then-
like if
yeah.
your kids don't trust you, like that's the thing. Like growing up, I would have never taught. Like you always have the thing where my mom would always tell me, if you're out and you're drunk, like call me.
Yeah, I got that.
Like, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, I'm not stupid.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? So you
That's
could
a
fucking,
con.
so you could get me home safe and then beat my fucking
Yeah,
ass
give you
the
a
next
reason to be
morning.
mad
Like,
at
yeah.
me?
Okay.
No
Yeah,
thanks.
Sure. But it's like I hope that our kids are like that, but unfortunately, like you never really will know until
Yeah.
like then like dude, for a while, and apparently I was wrong. I was convinced my whole family knew all the dumb shit I was doing. Like I didn't when I was younger, and then I grew up and I was like, they had to have known. And
Yeah.
then like we went and visited my family 2 years ago, and me and my aunts, we're sitting there, we're smoking, we're hanging out, and I like mentioned how I used to steal my aunt's weed, and she's like, "You what?"
What
I was
now?
like, "You didn't know?"
It's like, how did you not
or
notice
like
it
or,
go
or like I
missing?
mentioned that like we'd be drinking in the backyard like and whatnot, and she was like, "That was you what?" And it's like y'all really had no idea.
No.
Like because I looking back now, we did not do a good job of hiding.
Well,
it.
I think what it was she didn't care. Like that's the difference.
Possibly.
Like for instance, like my dad, right? Like my man's was restricted to basically the living room for the longest time. But he knew that I was throwing parties downstairs.
Yeah.
Right? He knew that was my only option to get out of the house while also still being able to take care of
Yeah.
him. But he said, if you're gonna throw a party, I don't care that you throw a party.
Well, you know, you're not
be
driving home.
responsible,
No, my-
and anyone who drinks stays at the house.
No, my aunt
I don't
cared.
care what you do. They stay at the house.
No, my aunt cared. My aunt smokes weed, and she apologized to me that 2 years ago because she felt bad about how the way she handled it. But you know, me and my mom was getting evicted all the time, so there was like a chunk of high school where I just lived in my aunt's basement, and a little bit after I turned 18, and like I was smoking like a joint in my like car. On the street, like just I was just fucking hotboxing my car, and she like
Which is still crazy to do now thinking about it, bro. That's so risky.
And she like caught me and like kicked me out.
It's so obvious.
Like she just came out and kicked me out, even
Damn.
though like and which blew my mind at the time because I knew she smoked and I was like, you know, fucking hypocrite.
Well, I
How could
mean,
you? But then looking back, it's like I was hotboxing the car outside,
But
so
it's
it's like
also-
she was not cool with it. They just didn't know about everything else.
Well, it's
prior.
also like, you know, there's so much anti-drug propaganda, and it's like, if I take a hard stance now, he'll never do it again. When you're definitely
That's
gonna
not how
do
that
it
works.
again. Yeah, but no, it's you know, that's like my parents. They would always just be like, you know, if there was like a gun on screen, my dad would just be like, now you know not to ever point a gun at anyone, right? And it's like, yeah, Dad, okay. You know, 5 minutes later, another gun on screen. You know, never to point a gun at anyone, right?
That's because he's getting reminded of it. He's like, oh, I should bring this up.
Yeah,
That
and
was,
it's just
that
like,
was the funny thing is my mom was so strict about things.
Yeah.
Like I was not allowed to watch rated R movies on my own.
No, see, like,
or
no.
like play rated R games. Like it wasn't until I think my uncle convinced her to like let me play his God of War.
right.
And like he had to like go to bat for me to have her allow me to do it.
God
And
of
it was
War's a
such
pretty dark
it
game,
was
though,
such a
too.
weird like expectation growing up because like my half brother at the time like he would be living with my dad and like his mom
So
and
close.
was he was 3-4 years younger than me playing GTA and like I just wasn't able
Picking
to
up
do any of that.
them from the strip club, getting that extra like 10 life.
Yeah, but no, I mean, but at the end, it's
Look how I turned out. Didn't work all that well.
Oh no, we're all on the same couches, right? So
Yeah, true.
that just goes to show it takes all kinds. But no, I mean, I think that's like, you know, I'll watch you guys do it with the girls, where it's just you just keep saying it until it sinks in, and they do
hope
stop.
that it
Like,
sticks.
and it's like you don't yell at them or anything like that, and it's like, you know, like with Evie, if she gets like overexcited, you'll be like, calm down, you know, and you do that a couple
The
times.
extent is at night when I'm like, get dressed.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying you
Stop
don't have to bring out dad
yapping.
voice.
Yeah, but they're like, no, like I don't, because I don't have to.
Yeah.
Like the thing is that because I learned growing up, and it's funny because there's going to be people even on this video that say that's not true. Yelling at kids doesn't work. Beating the shit out of kids doesn't work.
No, give him the death stare though. Does.
Like
That's
I
the fear of
I
death
grew
right
up.
there.
My mom beat my fucking ass. I got my mouth washed out with body wash, not soap. Yes, it's very toxic. I could have ended up in the hospital. Like just periodically. Like I was.
Was the soap
terrified.
available? Weird question. Was there a soap thing available, or did she just grab like
No,
the?
she
She's
grabbed the
like-
body
she was
wash.
like- she was
No,
like-
She chose the body wash.
She chose the body wash because she
Damn.
knew that it would be worse.
Holy shit!
Like most of my things growing up, like dude, multiple times. Like I was given concussion. She slammed my head into the wall. Like she beat the piss out of me, and like tried so hard to keep me away from drugs. Do this, like tried her best to like shelter me outside of that. Bro, I have done. You name the drug, I have done it. I had a serious fucking addiction problem when I was younger, like growing up. Like it doesn't work. It doesn't.
No.
Like you might get your kids afraid of you, so they might try to hide it better. But that's all that you're gonna do is your kids are gonna get better at hiding things from you.
Yeah, and they're gonna work harder.
They're
at
not
doing
just
it.
gonna stop.
And they're gonna
like
be less
people.
open.
People learn. Like I
That's
would
the thing,
like
less open because of that.
when I was younger, like I was the kid that would steal my aunt's and my uncle and my mom's cigarettes and throw them out.
Yeah,
Don't smoke; it's bad for you.
I did
and
that
I
a
started
couple times with
smoking
my
at
sister.
13. Like everybody was like shocked; they could not believe that I started smoking cigarettes because they were like, "You used to throw the cigarettes away," and it's like, yeah, because telling a kid something's bad doesn't work.
yeah. No, I mean, I do want to ask Bree in that regard, since you are the youngest one here and the only female, from what I know. Like from what I know, what was there like a specific lesson? I guess that from what we're talking about, that was different for you. Because obviously you're going to get way crazier shit than we are.
I think, and some people are going to disagree with me on this, but I think that a hard thing for me growing up as a woman, especially, was my mom never used correct anatomy with me.
What?
Correct, like body anatomy.
Oh, like she used like the slang, like
She
childhood
still
slang
does. She
terms.
still does.
But like your cha-chas?
Yeah.
And like your
That's on Scrubs, dude.
Yeah, and I always thought that they were bad words. And growing up, it made me feel like they were bad. And also for for anyone who goes through like SA, especially young children or get groomed on the internet, that's what they use is these terms, or when they want you to, or if someone asks you if something happened to you, or if they did something to you somewhere, they don't know the right words to use. And they think that it's wrong. And they think that those words are wrong. And they think that it's something bad about them or whatever. And I think that's something different that I've like told the kids. I always use the correct body anatomy with them. And a lot of my other mom friends do the same with their kids. It's like a big thing that is different from
See, that's interesting. Like, I've always like heard it like cha-chas and like your hoo-ha.
Well, I mean,
and,
even
like,
for boys,
stuff, right?
even for boys, right? Like their parents wouldn't use the thing with them, and they get SA'd too as children, and they never know what it's called, and it's a thing that's new now, and that was one big thing for me was that, and then also just learning about my body in general. Like it was so weird. In 5th grade, they have that like introductory to your body thing that like they separate the boys and the girls, and they
because people act like girls don't go through their hormonal shit hella early.
Oh,
and they do.
I got my first period when I was 10 years old.
Damn.
I was in 5th grade. And I
Mazel
did
tov.
not tell my mom for like 3 weeks.
I'm sure that's super common too.
Did they give you anything at the school then? How did you handle that?
I stuffed toilet paper in my pants for a week straight. And changed it out between class periods.
I mean, you think about it. Like
Class periods. No, because they didn't. Nobody taught me. I didn't know what a pad was. I didn't know what a tampon was. I still didn't know what a tampon was until probably 8th grade.
I need to show you the beginning of Carrie.
I didn't use a tampon until summer camp when I was going into high school is when I used my first tampon because we were going swimming. And the counselor felt bad, and I didn't know what to do. So the first person who taught me how to use a tampon was not my mother. It was a camp counselor in summer camp.
Which is so sad because like that counselor shouldn't have to do that.
I mean, weird
like,
question.
They're high schoolers.
Did they use those terms as well? Like, did they use like the hoo-ha terms, or did they actually use like?
Oh, I don't remember that.
I don't want to delve too deep.
I don't remember that.
I was just kind of curious.
But it was one of those things. Like nobody taught me. Like my mom to teach me about my body, give me a book.
No, I think the biggest problem,
and that book didn't use
you see it
the right terms either.
No, you see it. I mean, even in general with like the way people are about like keep that shit out of my school, and it's like, dude, if the adults don't teach the kids, they're learning it either A, on the internet, which is fucking horrible, or they're learning it from other kids who also don't understand.
Core memory just
it's
unlocked.
Like if the adults in the room don't fucking teach the kids, the kids will teach the kids.
Bro.
And that does not work. It doesn't.
I was exposed to a sex video way before I was younger, not realizing it was a sex video because I put in like a Ninja Turtles video. I was trying to watch like a Turtles or Rugrats or something like this. And I was like, cool, let me just put it in. And I think my brother taped over it. Oh. So like when I put it in, I was like, what is that dude doing with an Italian sausage? Like, literally, that was my core memory. I now just remember, I'm asking, like, in my mind, I'm like, why is he doing that with an Italian sausage?
Well, the other
thing.
That's
weird. Why do people, what?
Like, you looked that up on, like, a computer, right?
Shit. No, I was literally watching it on a VHS.
Yeah.
I was watching it on my TV thinking it was Rugrats, because it started off with, like the thing, like the intro, and then it, like, you know how it does that, like, cut? And then it switches over, and I'm like,
you saw a different
I'm
Tommy
like watching
Pickles.
this dude, like, all I remember is like black electrical tape over it, and like, I'm like, why does he have?
Your brother was young and did some weird shit.
My brother was like 8 years older than I was, right? So like,
he was.
So he was in that era. So like, I was like looking at it, going, what is happening? What is that? Why is this? And it wasn't until like I think I asked my cousin. I was like, dude, what do dudes do with Italian sausages or something like this? And he goes,
oh my God.
What?
I can only imagine being asked
my cousin's like 2 or 3 years older, so he's already hitting that age.
He's like, what is happening?
He's like, what are you asking?
What is wrong with you?
And I'm like, well, like I saw this video of this dude with an Italian sausage doing something to this girl, and like I don't know what's happening. And he goes, dude, He goes, you watched a video that you probably shouldn't have watched.
You're a little young for that.
I'm pretty sure, like, I don't remember the exact
I don't remember what age
but,
I
like,
was, but I was young.
I'm pretty sure that my dad just sat me down at the computer one time when I was like, I don't know, probably like 13. I might have been younger. I don't remember. And he was like, hey, it's porn.
What? What?
It wasn't like porn. It was like, I think it was a website called Twisties.
Twisties?
No,
If
that's
I'm remembering
big
right,
dog.
I think it was it was pictures. If I remember right, I don't think it was video. It might have been too early. It
Old
was
internet when I
time.
had to load the picture.
Yeah,
going
pretty
down.
much. But like that's like,
he'd already nut by the time the bang showed up. Damn it!
but no, I,
Not
like,
again.
like I was definitely exposed to porn way earlier than I should have been. Like,
yeah,
it was
same.
absolutely.
No, we had. You know, I've spoken about it before that we had like one of those cable boxes, like when I was like really young, and my parents did not know apparently.
Oh, there was TV channels you could find.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
no, dude, no, like so there was like a pay-per-view channel that was like they would play the same movie all day until 10 o'clock.
And then you go to softcore,
And
baby.
oh yeah, it was the Playboy channel, dude. It was like
I had that at my
Playboy did not show hardcore stuff on that channel when I was a kid, so it's still
Yeah.
like it was very much
It's
like
softcore,
the
like,
Skinamax,
yeah.
yeah. Like so it's like I'm seeing boobies, but I don't know how anything works below that. But I mean,
had
I was
my,
also like a kid that liked boobies, so I was like,
No, yeah, I think the first time I had that, because like I said, we didn't have cable or anything, right? So like my dad was staying with my aunt and her boyfriend at their house for a while, which meant I had to sleep on the couch. Like for years, like if I was at my dad's, he didn't have a room. Like it was whatever couch was available. It's like you can sleep in my bed with me, or you can sleep on the couch, your choice. And I was like, I ain't sleep with my dad. I'll sleep on the couch. So I was like watching TV in the living room, and I think it was that like the turning point happened, and like
Yeah.
it came on, and it was like, well, I'm not gonna turn it off. But now you're like on edge because you're like, are they gonna come downstairs? You're like,
right.
constantly, like, you're like fucking 12 years old. You're like,
nah.
I never had that experience.
Now I remember the
it
first.
seems like women don't. I don't know.
No, dude. I remember the first time like I saw the hardcore stuff,
Well,
like the
because-
real
well,
stuff,
because-
and I was like, "Oh, that's what that does."
Because even in the softcore stuff, they're not hanging dong.
No,
you know,
no,
it's,
no,
it's
no.
just boobies.
It's skin on skin, baby. And
It's
just a slow
literally
grind.
and like they might as well just be doing this like we did with action figures or
Yep,
whatever.
that's literally
when
what
they
it
fall,
was.
you know. But no, it's. I've always wondered that because like my sister, even like when we had the internet, my sister was like never on the internet all that much, and like so
These
she
girls were bullied into that, dude. Like I had my best friend Vicky growing up. Like we love video games. We always just play games together, and it was like she was the weird girl who liked video games. You know what I mean? Because girls don't like
girls
games.
like video games.
It's like it's crazy, and it's like back then. No, girls did like video games. They just didn't talk about it because they would be fucking bullied for it.
It's true.
I mean, hell, I'll never forget. Because like I said, I used to bounce around in school. So like nobody ever got a chance to know me.
Right.
And I was super into Final Fantasy at the time. I didn't have cable. I just played my PS2 all the time. And I brought like a Final Fantasy strategy guide to school, and I was like reading it in the lunchroom during like breakfast time, like before school had opened up. And some kid like walked over and he grabbed it and he threw it in the dumpster or in the garbage can. And I didn't realize it was a brand new garbage can. I assumed like, it's a lunchroom garbage can. I thought
Yeah.
my book was ruined. I grabbed his face, I slammed it into the table, and he had braces. And he started bleeding. I felt so bad. I like walked him to the nurse. I got in so much trouble, and my book was fine. But it's like, dude, like literally just like
yeah, but you didn't know
like
that.
literally grabbed my book and threw it in the garbage because ew, nerd shit, video game shit. And it's like it's so crazy seeing what video
Nerd
games have
whoop your ass,
become.
bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was a little testy when I was
I,
younger.
no, I was like that. I was the only kid in my class that was like playing Resident Evil. This was 7th grade.
Yeah. God, I always wanted to.
And it's like, bro, like I would ask people that, I had a couple friends that did play games. It's like, have you guys played Resident? Because this was the director's cut. And I was like, have you guys played like Resident Evil director's cut? And it's like, what's that? And it's like, I kept like going and finally, dude, like someone was like, I think so-and-so talks about that game. And like me and this kid have never like interacted before, like talked or anything like that. And it's like, hey, man, like I heard you play Resident Evil director's cut. And he was like, so you're the other one. And like, dude, like, and we,
like find a
we
gem.
just spent like a 2-3 hour conversation about that game and like never spoke again.
Well,
after
because
that.
it was pre-internet, right? It was
Yeah.
pre-YouTube, so it's like, oh my God, I found another human
Yeah.
being who plays the same game I do. It was like a mind-blowing experience. And I feel bad for kids that are growing up now, at least when it comes to the internet. I think that's why I like want to keep them off it as long as I can. At least until
Let
they,
the innocence stay as pure as possible.
Yeah,
Well, enough to educate them.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
is educating them.
And that's the thing is a lot of people let their kids get a cell phone when they go into middle school, and it's like that's not enough time.
I can understand from a safety aspect.
Well,
no,
that's the thing.
I've,
That's why I
I've,
said
I've
they
gone through
have-
that with Evie in elementary school now, like her being in kindergarten. It's been stressing me out because I have this weird thing of like, I want her to have a phone so she can call me if there's ever an emergency, God forbid, especially in this fucking country. But like,
But they have phones for that.
I don't want her to have a phone. Like, it's this weird, like, what do I get her, you know?
Well, they have phones for that.
I know.
They
Well-
literally have phones specifically for kids where you can only give them a set amount of phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It has a tracking in it, and that's about it.
So, Mike, I mean, I don't want to pry too much on this, but like, I just a question for you. Like, let's say the worst should happen at school, right? And she does call you. What can you do?
Go down
Like-
there, push the cops out of the way, and go in.
Yeah.
But doesn't
Like
that
an
just cause
Uvalde?
more obstruction? Like,
No.
like I said, I mean, I'm all about like supporting it, but I'm just trying to think like,
It's-
like.
I mean, look at Uvalde. The cops tried to arrest the parents that went in, and the parents went in and saved their own fucking kids.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
I don't trust cops.
Would you
I
go
don't.
in armed, or would you just go in unarmed?
It-
in
yeah.
that scenario.
We don't have one now, but like, yes, if I had one, I'm going there with the gun.
Okay. No, like I said, I'm not trying to. I'm just like
Yeah.
like out of curiosity.
No, I've had that
like,
thing where like I keep going back and forth where I especially with how
because dude, it's so worrying.
with
like,
how
it's
with how
so
much
worrying.
things have escalated in this country, like, and I don't want to get like super political or anything right now, but like I've debated getting like a gun and not just a bat, but like there's this weird thing of like, I know I can get a safe and I know I can put the safe up high where they can't reach it, but like you always hear these fucking horror stories of the
Oh, no,
kids got
dude.
into the safe. Somehow they got into the safe.
Well, you can
And-
also get the locking mechanism on the gun itself,
But it
so
doesn't
you can't even pull the trigger.
Yeah,
at all.
I guess.
Like
But,
there are mechanisms
Yeah,
that literally
it's just like
prevent
I think
all
it's
usage
just
of the
that thing
weapon.
of like the stress and
The
like,
idea
you know,
of
people
like,
are
what
like,
that fails? What if
No,
this
yeah,
goes
and it's
there,
like
right?
people
This
are
is,
like teach your kids
cascading.
gun safety. I don't want to have to teach my fucking 6-year-old and 7-year-old gun
I
safety.
mean, so weird question, but
Like-
like, would you be fine? Like, do you want to leave it in my house?
Well, what's the
Well, I
point
mean,
of having
that
it?
would be
I
What's
know
the
it
point of
prevents,
having
like,
it
a little
then?
bit, but
I think it goes, what's the point of having it at
Yeah,
that point? you know?
because it'd be for home intrusion, right? Like
Yeah.
or home invasion.
Well, I mean,
well, I was more talking like if you had to go to school or something like that. But no, you're right for home intrusion.
like a couple
that kind of
weeks
stuff makes
ago,
sense.
or like right after Halloween. Well, the night of Halloween, our alarm system wasn't pinging the doorbell, and so it wouldn't tell my dad when someone was at the door. So before we left, we had to like fix it, and we had to like mess with the hub and like do all these things and like take the battery out and whatever. And when he put it back together, it like wasn't shut all the way. And so the night after, it was like 2 a.m. All of a sudden, alarm just starts blaring.
I was not stressed because I had a feeling that it was me because the alarm went off the second I armed it. Like
Okay,
the second
you
I
say
armed
that.
It.
You
so I
say
yes,
that.
I grabbed the bat and I went around the
this guy
house.
stands up, grabs the bat,
Because
and
I'm
just
not gonna-
charges the ball.
No, because I'm not gonna go out there unarmed. No, I am the person. I hear a noise. I'm grabbing a knife from the kitchen and I'm inspecting the house. You know, I'm grabbing a bat. I'm inspecting the house. I like.
Well,
it-
no, but I was in my head. I'm like, you're just gonna charge right into the hallway,
Yeah.
just like
Well, yeah.
straight on.
Yes.
Like,
See,
me,
I mean, there's an
would, like,
alarm
hide
blaring. The
behind
dog's
corner.
freaking out. Like,
What-
even if that person came in with the intent to kill, anybody's going to be caught off guard by that.
So-
that alarm is fucking ear piercing.
No, yeah, like because we got the same system, I know. And so, like that first time I came home and I forgot that I had set the alarm. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
No,
You're
it's,
like,
it's ear
am I,
piercing.
So-
am I robbing my own house?
like up north, you know, especially like now, like I live by myself, right? So like my main concern is a home invasion, right?
Yeah.
And so like in my mind, I've already planned out what they're gonna
Yeah.
do the moment they walk into my house.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of it is funny enough, like right now I don't have it, but like up north, I have a very long hallway, like a very long hallway with all the rooms that kind of branch off
Yeah.
from it. So I'm like, if someone comes in the house, the first thing I do is I have to walk down that hallway.
Yep.
Guess what they're saying hello to? My shotgun.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's nowhere for them to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's literally, I hear them, I peek out, peek back, right? Like
Yeah.
I literally have
Yeah.
the whole scenario planned where it's like, that's what's
Yeah,
going to
no,
happen.
my
right?
biggest stress with the gun legitimately is the kid.
Yeah.
It's like, it's this weird thing where like, and I guess maybe it's just, you know, growing up, I was like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't give a shit. Because it's like, I didn't have the kid, so I wasn't worried about me.
Well, I
It's like,
grew up in, like,
whatever.
an
If there's a
unlocked
home
house,
invader, there's a
right?
home
So-
invader.
Yeah.
But like,
Well,
with them, it's been this weird stress of like, I want to get one because of them. I also don't want to get them because of them. It's like this weird thing, and I've been like deciding it for a while now.
I think if you make a big or don't make a big deal about it, like we had one, and I was never interested in it, and so it was never like I wasn't like going into like my dad's room, getting like the 12 gauge that we had, being like boo boo boo, like I never did shit like that, right? Because I also had toy guns.
You know what was
shit.
weird is that my mom was a super gun nut, and I never cared about them.
You know what?
Exactly. I mean,
Maybe we should get a
wanted to
sword.
say
No, but
that.
she tried to
Lightsaber.
shove them down my throat.
No.
Like she tried
No, like a
to
legit
shove guns
sword.
down my throat, and I just didn't care.
We should get a sword.
What is that gonna happen?
Dude, that'd be
You just
I think
put
a
it
sword-
up high on the
I
wall.
like-
What about throwing knives? Can we do throwing knives instead? That way it's like.
No.
I will say though, imagine you break in a place, you see somebody come out with a sword.
While you broke into my home, I studied the blade.
And I'll bring out my nunchucks.
Zorro!
Dude, I'm breaking into the fucking Ninja Turtles house.
But no, I think it's one of those things of like, we have Rumble. He's a very big dog.
Yeah.
He's very loud.
No, that bark is immediately going to turn a lot of
that
people
combined
away.
with the alarm, like we have like. I invested in the security system.
Yeah.
Once the channel started to grow, it was like, I've seen the horror stories. I'm not taking the risk.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the first things. So it's like, I'm not worried in that sense that like if they are willing to continue on, like one, the alarm's off, the cops will be here any minute. What's fucked up about that, I'm more worried about the cops than I am worried about a home invader.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, my thing too is like, and
maybe it's just growing up. I don't trust the cops. I don't.
I mean, I will tell the full story one day. I've been swatted, and so that's one reason I'm not a big fan of cops.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll get into it one day. It was an ordeal.
Yeah,
like
the
it
cops
was.
show up when I was streaming.
I
It's
had
not
like
fun.
the hardcore version of it. I wasn't like them searching my house and being like, "Hey, okay." Like, no, I was in handcuffs on the ground.
Yeah, no, I got lucky that when the cops were outside my apartment, my roommates had just come up from the pool, and they caught them right before they were about to kick the door down.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I got lucky where they let my roommate Frank walk in and be like, turn the stream off. And I was like, what? And then like I stood up and I see the cops behind him and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh.
But dude, it
Alrighty
was
then.
like this close to being so much worse. But like that's my worry is like I'm not worried about the dude who knows that he's doing something illegal and will be charged for it. I'm
Yeah.
worried about the people that could come and shoot me and be like, wasn't our fault.
Well, I mean, like what I was going to go back to is like, you said like, oh, we ought to get a sword instead of like a gun. See, to me, and I guess this is once again just my parents teaching me, right? And like I feel like a sword's more dangerous.
Yes.
Because like,
In theory, yeah.
because like even if you know a sword is dangerous, like bro, it just takes accidentally dropping it. I mean, same thing with a
Anything.
gun, sure,
Anything.
right? But like,
You want to wrestle somebody with a sword? No, you don't.
yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, dude, I'm gonna hold the apple like this, try to cut it. I've seen I don't know how many videos of that going wrong. And so like the idea of like just keeping an unloaded gun, because like I mean like something for like protecting your home, you don't need an AR-15.
No.
You don't need a handgun. Just get a shotgun.
Yep, get a scatter shot, baby.
No, just get a double barrel shotgun. That way you can literally pop it and see there are no shells in there. It is an unloaded gun. Click it back or keep it open.
Yeah.
And keep the shells where only you can reach them.
That's pretty much where I'm at, where we have a closet high enough. And like that's where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like it'd probably be fine. It is that one thing of just like I think like you hear the horror stories the kids get in the gun safe.
Oh, absolutely.
I honestly think that's probably the only thing that's prevented me from going through with it.
No, I mean, and that's a legitimate fear.
But the thing is, like, on top of what Sean said, like, I grew up in a household that had guns.
Yeah.
Like, my dad, when he passed away, I inherited so many goddamn guns from him.
Yeah.
And
So
I don't
what the
give
fuck am I gonna do with all
give a
these?
fuck about them. Like, I have like 2 shotguns,
Yeah.
some kind of rifle. Like, I have a James Bond like little pistol thingy
yeah.
with the ankle grip on it. And I'm like, Dad, what did you ever need this?
I got
for?"
a.
He's like, I just
I
wanted
got like
it,
a,
right?
like a 22 Ruger or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that same
And
size.
I've also got one that's got like the little clip on the bottom of it.
And
Yeah,
that's the thing
what
is
fuck
like
that
I don't think
But
I
it's
would
like-
ever like you were saying. I think I would just get a shotgun or a pistol.
That's all
and
you
that's
need.
it.
Like,
Right?
honestly,
Like,
you just need something like that. And like the shotgun I have is like you just pump it. I got the Resident Evil one where it's like
Oh, so satisfying.
you're like,
Yeah.
all right, fire another one. But like I've never fired a gun and I don't have a want to. However, now discussing
Well,
having
because
this discussion,
I know what to do.
We need to hang out with Bree's dad and have him take us to the range.
No,
Yeah,
we
my
should-
dad. Oh my
no.
god, my dad.
Dude, he would love it.
No,
He
we
would
You know
should
love it.
what?
totally
You know
go to
what's
the
so
range.
funny?
It would be fun.
No,
It's just like
we should
whenever I
film
see
that.
him interact with you guys, I'm like,
I love Glenn, bro.
my dad
Dude,
never
he's great. He's awesome.
Listen, my dad had 2 daughters, so he never had a son.
So he's got the boys now.
So he just loves hanging out with you guys because I think it just gives him an idea of like what his son would be like.
Well, it's almost best of both worlds. He still gets to hang out with you, but he kind of gets a dude bro time as well.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's just so cute every time I see him like interact with you guys because he's like in his element, like getting to teach you guys like dude things.
Yeah, he's gonna hang out
that
with
like
the boys.
I don't give a shit
But no,
about.
honestly, like I think it would be a good thing for us this year at some point.
It's not a bad idea.
Plan time with Glenn.
Oh,
and be
my
like,
dad
hey,
would like
take us to the
literally
range.
like count down the days.
And because one of the big things is proper gun safety.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not just having the gun and knowing that it shoots. It's understanding how to hold the gun correctly, where to put your fingers, and so that way you are safe.
Yeah.
Right. Because the last thing you ever want to do is have a quick moment where your hand clinches because you get shocked. And you fire off in the wrong direction. You're like, where the fuck did that go?
Yeah.
Right?
No, when
it's
he
like,
gets
it's
back
that.
from Oregon, no,
Like,
totally.
gun safety is
My
a
other
very
worry, and I'm not
huge
even
thing.
gonna lie, is like the shooting the wrong person, and I don't mean like shooting Glenn by mistake instead of a home
Shooting
intruder.
me when I
I'm
get
more
home
talking about
late.
like home intruders here, and you fucking the cops show up and you accidentally fucking blast a cop,
that's why
and then you're fucked.
Like
now it's like
having
not your fault, but like.
now they're
but
going to get you.
having proper gun safety is going to help alleviate some of that, though.
Well, no, I'm talking about like, dude, if somebody comes in my house, I'm shooting them. Like
Well,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
but like if like the cops aren't going to arrive the moment that the alarm starts going on.
No, not a moment, but that doesn't mean they're not going to show up later when you're already on edge and you have a gun in your
I mean,
hand.
that's
Well, no,
where, like,
they like the call gets sent to the 911 dispatch center.
And
And
they'll probably call you
they
and
have
be
to
like,
call us.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you'd be like, I am armed.
They'll
like,
send the cops before they call you, but they
Yeah.
call you to make sure that
Yeah,
it's
and-
not.
No, I understand the process.
Okay.
But I know that most cops don't follow the process.
Bro,
that's my concern.
That's anxiety, brother. That's that hypothetical getting deep
Yeah.
in your
it
brain,
is.
right?
But like,
there-
again, it goes
there
back
is-
to I don't trust cops.
But
like,
the
I
thing
just
is,
don't.
there is standard
Like,
procedures when they are coming
Yeah.
onto sites like
No,
that
I
that
know.
they have to follow, right? And like that, the phone
Unfortunately,
calls
they
to be
don't.
fair, yeah, I was like, to be fair, they don't always follow those
that's the
standard
thing.
procedures either.
Like if it wasn't,
They're supposed to.
If it was like a once in a blue moon thing, if it wasn't so common that cops violated that stuff, I don't think I'd
you're
be bothered
talking
as
about
much.
on-site police, but what
Yes.
we're talking about is on like procedures that are happening in the background before that officer.
Oh, yeah,
even
no,
arrives,
no, of
right?
course.
Like they have
Some-
nothing to do with the phone call.
Some of these
No, I know that.
some of these alarm companies also have their own officers that they send
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of the actual like city hired
Mall
police.
cops.
Yeah,
But-
basically.
I trust
like-
the mall cops more than the real cops, dude.
That's because they're not armed.
That's because the mall cops can actually get arrested.
That too. But yeah, I mean,
Because they're not cops.
It is one of those
Exactly.
things where, like, to be
They're
honest,
just guys.
I'd be down. We got to set up some time with Glenn to go.
I think
on
it would be
a
fun.
little-
I'm
he
down,
gets
bro.
back from Oregon next week, so I'll tell him.
My man's
I'm-
is gonna be like, yeah, okay, when?
Literally, the second
Nah,
that you
bro.
tell him, he's gonna already be looking up places to
He's
go.
like, what toys do you want to test out?
Tell him to find somewhere that's got like one of those 50 cal Barretts or whatever, bro. I want to pop one of those bad
Bro,
boys
my
off.
shoulder's gonna hurt the next day, but it's gonna be
Oh, no, it's
awesome.
totally worth it, dude. Yeah.
I'd be so down. We
one.
gotta bring
Boom.
Christian with us and have him record.
Hell
This
yeah.
would be great.
No, we have to make that a video.
No, we're not going to a gun range without a
I'm like
camera.
excited for him. I'm like excited to tell him because oh my god, he just like when you should have seen him teaching Eric this card game.
He was
He
so
was
into
like
it.
He was so, and I was so high. I felt so bad because I'm like, wait.
No,
so
it was funny because
it's
at
three
first,
different hands.
you could tell he
but
was
like-
so interested. He was so interested.
He was so interested, and I'm like, I liked the game. It was a cool concept, but I was so high that I couldn't understand all
Yeah.
of
It
the
was
funny.
rules.
It was really
and
funny.
I'm like, bro, wait, what? So you're dealing me 5 cards, but I have to use all 5 cards in 3 different slots, and then I have to like try to build a hand that ascends from the bottom. So the highest, the best playing card is on the bottom, and then it builds up
Exactly.
to that, and then so apparently you get to Fantasyland after that. And I'm like, homie,
But-
I am way too high to like
But listen,
even try to comprehend what's
when
going
you
on.
got it, like when you got things, he was so happy.
He was so happy,
Yeah.
and
Like,
I
when
was
it-
beating him,
like,
but
when
yet
it
he was
clicked-
playing my hand for me.
I know. He
That's
was so,
because he
he was
didn't have
like,
Bree giving him that judgmental look.
Yeah,
no,
right.
he was literally like, "Yep," and you beat me again. He's like, "Yep, you just won."
You just won again, and I'm like, I'm not even playing.
He's
You're-
like, I've made a mistake in teaching you how
You're
to do
telling
this.
me. Well, the best part was, I would literally, he would deal me the cards, and I would just lay them down because I'm like, I'm so high. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know where to put these.
Glenn, help.
And he would just be like, put that one there, put this one there, and then discard that one.
True.
And then I would just keep winning, and I'm
Yeah.
like, homie, it's not me winning, it's you winning.
Yeah.
Like,
But man, it was just every time that you could see that like something clicked clicked. He like grabbed onto that so fast.
yeah,
He's
that-
like,
that
okay,
happy,
okay, no, so
nah.
you get it. Okay, so after that, it's just so
No,
funny.
that's
It
like
was
when
awesome.
it's like when we were teaching him "Follow the Queen" or whatever at Christmas, and it's just like, oh, so that's wild. And we're like, yeah.
It's like
much.
teaching a toddler to do anything.
Meanwhile,
and
my
then they get
mom's
it,
been
and you're
playing
like,
it with me since I was a child, and she still does not.
Mom's was just
understand.
hustling, dude. She was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what cards I got, but it's fun to play, and I'm gonna keep
No,
winning.
my mom's a fucking menace, dude.
We didn't manage to get to YouTube bending us over, but
No.
you know what? We'll talk about it next week. And
Yeah.
in theory, the bending over should stop by then, and maybe
they
we could
should-
have more info on it.
They should have pulled it out by a third,
Maybe.
by then. So
We'll find out. Yeah, no, it's a lot. We'll get into it later. But thanks, Billy. Thanks for
Yeah,
watching.
be the
Thanks for
joy.
hanging out. Remember to check out billionstheworld.com. You want some sort of stupid merch?
Ooh-wee.
We got a bunch
Do
of
it,
shirts
do it.
I make the
over there.
stickers.
Yeah, Bree, there's stickers over there.
The
There's
stickers are
shirts.
hand touched by Bree.
They
yes,
are.
you
So
get
you're
my
technically getting
you get my
Bree DNA
sweet
every time you
hand
buy a
oils
sticker.
on
That's a good
everyone.
Yeah,
Eric licks them
Many
sometimes.
hand
Hell
oils.
yeah, I licked the shit out of them.
yeah. Go check it out. Go check out the main channel. Do the things. I don't know if there's anything else we need to plug. Read Billy Ends the World.
Do it. Read it.
I got my wand back. Avada-avada-avada.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to take you to a fantasy world.
Hell yeah, man!
the
I'm
joy.
going to Fantasyland.
Bye.